Hey, what's up, guys? It's Elmer Enriquez, your host of Artistic Visions, the show where we like to go in-depth with young artists at OCAD, talk about their art, what they like to talk about in their art, and what they would like to talk about in their art. In today's episode, I got a very special guest, Adolfo, Medina. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And you know what? Let's get right into the interview. Who are you?
Of course.
And what kind of art do you usually make?
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Adolfo Medina. I'm a third-year photography student at OCAD University. Proudly Venezuelan, living in Canada. You know, just a little Latin kid following his dreams. So, yeah.
Aren't we both? Aren't we?
We are both.
Both of us, Latin kids.
Fucking literally, yes.
Yeah, no, and it's, thank you for coming on the show. And, you're obviously in photography, and that's what we're here to talk about today.
Yes.
And the first piece you have here for us is called Bloody Mary. And what would you like to talk about in this piece?
Oh my God, this is one of my favorite pieces yet. So just a little background, a little context. I did this shoot for my friend's project, my friend Alicia Lee. She's an amazing integrated media student, also third year. She's amazing. She came up with this concept about, it's like a protest about religion versus women's reproductive care, rights, in this case, menstruation. So she incorporated both of those elements, and I was very proudly the photographer of that. So we did this series at my place, and it went amazing. We mixed chocolate syrup with some red colorant, and we poured it all over her. She had a wedding dress, and it started rolling the moment my other friend who was helping us was throwing everything onto her, and what came out was just amazing. I'm super proud of this project. It's one of my favorites so far, for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like a really great, project. I wish we were able to put both the video and your photography side by side, because I feel like it elevates both things, right?
It looks so sick.
Yeah.
It's next level.
Yeah, I will say the idea of, what was it, maple syrup? Or no, not syrup.
Chocolate
syrup being mixed with the coloring, red coloring dye.
Yes.
That's a great idea of just getting that thickness and that consistency,
It
right?
smells horrible. It smells nasty.
Anything for art.
But anything for the arts.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. And really quickly, I do want to focus on your piece here, because I think this is a really stunning image, because it's so, mysterious. When you hear Bloody Mary, you immediately think of that, the folklore of saying her name 3 times in the mirror and then appearing behind you.
Right.
And it's always a scary image. I was scared of this whole thing. I hate ghosts and all that, but
Same.
when you start talking about reproductive, and I think you're playing a little bit as well. I'm not sure. I'm kind of speculating just because I'm also Christian, or raised Catholic, Christian, whatever. Same. But it obviously, I feel plays off of Mother Mary, and because that's a whole story in itself, where she's supposed to bear the child and everything, and that's a whole thing. And it kind of reminded me of that, and plays around with that story, as well as meshing the folklore and giving a new meaning to it, and talking about women's bodies and everything.
Yeah, I do feel that religion does oppress female presenting individuals in a really big manner. I think it's really important to talk about these issues, because I don't think that they have the recognition they should get. These are issues that matter. Just the fact that last year or something, Roe versus Wade was taken back in the U.S. It was just those moments make you think about the state of the world, and how much pressure our politicians are putting onto its population, and the fact that they are taking away rights for women.
Yeah.
Because I do feel that having access to female reproductive care medicines and stuff like that, I think it's super vital. and as well as abortion, all of those things. I think it's really important to talk about that. So this piece that my friend came up with is just it's something that speaks about that. It's like a protest piece. Let's just call it like that.
A protest
And
piece. Yeah.
I am very proud that she asked me to be her photographer for this project, because her imagination is just insane. Like when she told me the idea, I was like, girl, if there's any way I can participate on this, I would. Thank you so much. And that's what happened. And we came up with this amazing series, and it's an amazing, beautiful project. It has been so far in my life one of my probably top 3 favorite projects ever.
You know, this is just an absolutely stunning image, and you know, I'm actually very excited to see your next image. I am the spotlight, which is right here. And what do you want to say about this piece?
Oh my God, this is funny enough. This is the complete opposite, because people, when I did these pictures, it took me like a long time to actually post them on my photo Instagram page. And I started playing with Lightroom, and I came up with this. I'll tell you in a minute. But beforehand, shout out to Angie Garcia, my friend Angie, at Ganji on Instagram. She's amazing. I love you, Angie. She's an amazing model. We came up with this like 1940s, all Hollywood inspired shoot. But this was back in May, if I'm not mistaken. So this was a long time ago, kinda. And we came up with this idea, and what I wanted to showcase was like a Maria Felix kind of like imagery going on, you know, elements of like Rosalia and those things merge into like that. And this is what we came up with. So this picture, I took probably like 500 pictures today with Angie at the studio. And as I told you, it took me like so long to edit the pictures, because, you know, when you're a photographer, I think you strive for perfection or anything close to perfection. I don't believe in it, but I'll try to get as close as possible to that, right? So I was playing with the images, just like find, you know, like okay, effects, like an aesthetic that I want to come up with, because I really like these pictures. There's so much behind these pictures, so I started playing with the masks on Lightroom. And what I did is I created a mask on Angie's face that she's like, you know, laying down like this on the ground. And I just, you know, played with exposure, the light, and this is what came up at the end. People ask me, Adolfo, did you actually put like a lantern on her face? I did not. I just took a picture like that, and this is what came up at the end after editing and all of that. I will admit I edited this picture. I'm not gonna be a liar, but it's just like, it just shows you the power that technology has. Shout out to Adobe, guys.
Shout out to Lightroom.
Guys, hire me. Like, you guys are awesome. It's just wonderful. Like, and I wanted to bring this picture because, as I said, the first picture, I didn't do any editing on it. But on this one, I certainly did. And it worked in our favor. So this is what came up at the end. And the eye on the spotlight, I think it's like a reflection of you know, that willingness of celebrities in Hollywood to like they would do anything in their power to get where they are, you know, like they want to be the spotlight all the time. So it's like how can I say this? Like, it's like a take on that like willingness of ours to just, you know, be the spotlight, be the number one. That strive for perfection, to be the number one.
Yes.
That's where I guess we all want it to be, at least once in our lifetime, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to move on to my next question. However,
Yes.
What kind of message do you like talking about in your art?
I like to leave it for people's imagination.
Okay.
To be honest, my work is predominantly fashion and conceptual photography. If we talk about messages, that will be on a concept I come up with, or if one of my peers wants to like do something with something they want to say and whatnot, I mean, we'll just work with it. But usually I like to leave it for people's imagination, especially as a fashion photographer. I think fashion is it's like an expression of ourselves. I feel so. I just let the clothes and the model speak for themselves more than actually words. So I would say that it's up for imagination.
Of course. And I would like to move on to my next question.
Yes.
Who or what inspires you in terms of creating art?
I think my biggest inspirations right now are mostly fashion photographers, like contemporary fashion photographers. Like, of course, I need to mention my idols, Steven Meisel, Peter Lindbergh. They're just fantastic. They're legends on the field, and I love them. Now, if we talk about nowadays, like on the present day, I love this photographer. I think he's British. His name is Jack Richland.
Okay.
He has done work for GQ, for Diesel. Like, his work is just fantastic. I think his most famous work was Robert Pattinson's GQ cover for Batman, where he's wearing like, the spiky
hair, the gold
and
teeth,
the grills.
the grills.
teeth.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite works
of art
Yes.
ever.
That was a very iconic
The
one.
moment
yeah.
I saw that on my Instagram feed, I screamed.
I was
Panicking. It was just
so good. It was
so good. So
so
shout out to Jack Richland. He's
amazing.
huge inspiration. I aspire to be like him. He's like the
God I
follow, like the god
all praise, all praise.
all praise to him.
He's amazing.
Now I will move on to the final question of the interview.
Yes.
Sadly, how has OCAD helped you with making art?
Oh my god,
This is a
this is a question I would go on for hours because, honestly, OCAD has been probably in all of my years in this planet, I think OCAD has been the best academic experience I had so far. Before entering OCAD, I was, still doing photography, but I guess I was like a more shy. I was like not that open. I was like not that open to explore. I was like more low key. I was like just, taking pictures of buildings and that. That was like my start. Architecture photography and landscape photography. But then once I got into OCAD, I started meeting fellow peers in the industry, I guess. And those things helped me to like develop like my creative thinking because, honey, this brain has so much crazy shit going on. And it allowed me to like explode my full creative potential in ways that, to be honest, I never thought I would. And because of that, I was able to expand my work outside of, of school. I've gotten opportunities outside of school, of OCAD and all of that. So I think if it weren't for that, I wouldn't be in the position where I am right now. I'm currently working in my portfolio. I'm a third year, so I'm almost done.
Almost done.
Almost done with OCAD. So the fact that I'm able to do these things without, having like there's always gonna be a boringness, always. But now I'm feeling more relaxed to like just doing my own thing and just working on the things I like, working with the people I like to work with. So if it weren't for OCAD, I wouldn't say that, to be honest. Like, OCAD expanded my mind and my approachness to people to a level, as I said, I never thought that I would get to before, right? So honestly, it's just been amazing. Like, I'm very thankful for OCAD. I'm glad I'm a student at this amazing school. I think it's just fantastic. So shout out to OCAD.
Shout out to OCAD.
Shout out to OCAD.
Yeah, and that's great to hear because, sometimes you just don't know who you are, and then you meet these people, and then you understand more, right? And you understand what you want in your art and stuff, and that's really great to hear that you got to that point, and now you're at a point where you're just still working on your portfolio, and you probably have an array of different images from the architecture, like way back when you're doing that, and now with model photography and like more conceptual fashion photography, right?
Exactly. No, it's what I love, and I just want to keep it going and keep exploring. That's what I'm doing. Like, I just want to like grow more onto that. Honestly, it's something that it's a little immigrant kid that came to Canada looking for like a dream. And that's still pursuing its dream and working for that dream. I think it's working. And honestly, I gotta shout out OCAD anytime that I can because they have just been amazing and so supportive. Like, they're just awesome.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you really quickly, Adolfo, for coming on the show. But before we end off this episode, is there anything you'd like to promote, plug, or put out there for the world to know about?
If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at my personal at ADOMDNA, ADOMDNA. And also linked with that account is my photo account, boy_Adolf, but it's ADOLPHE. I wanted to make it more fancy. So that's my photo account. If you want to follow me, you can reach me. You can reach out if you want to collaborate. Go ahead, shoot me a DM. We'll work on it, and yeah.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a great time as much as I did.
Thank you for having me. It's been so fun so far.
Yeah, no, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching this episode of Artistic Visions. I cannot wait to see you guys very, very soon. Take it easy and hope you have a great week, weekend, or a day. Bye.